A Suncoast teacher is placed on administrative leave after being charged with child pornography. Now, students are making new allegations against him. We'll have more on that story in just a few minutes, but first, the beginning of May means the beginning of mosquito season and the potential for exposure to disease.
Last year, Florida was ground zero for the Zika virus, but experts say the fight to keep disease at bay begins now. ABC 7's Taylor Torregano is live at the county's Mosquito Management Services office to show us the best ways to protect yourself. Taylor?
Good evening, Jacqueline Scott. Let's start with the Mythbuster. Taking dryer sheets like this and rubbing them all over your body will prevent you from being bit, right? Well, staff here tell us nope. In fact, it'll attract mosquitoes even more because dryer sheets often smell like flowers, which mosquitoes obviously like. So your best bet, good old-fashioned bug repellent. A familiar and often unwelcome sound.
About over 40 species in Sarasota County.
That's a lot of mosquitoes to avoid, and they can often be found in unorthodox places.
They'll breed in containers. A lot of things that you might leave around your house, tarps, chip bags, like trash that you might have fallen out of your trash can in some way. So a lot of the avoidance of those species is actually eliminating the breeding sites.
Because it's one thing to have the occasional mosquito fly in your home, but it's a whole different ballgame if that mosquito lays eggs.
It doesn't take a lot of water for them to breed, it just has to be stagnant.
And to avoid being bit, the county's Mosquito Management Services suggests turning to repellents recommended by the CDC.
Those are things like DEET, picaridin, oil of lemon eucalyptus.
But if you are bit, the lab here says for now there's no concern in Sarasota County of contracting any of the infectious diseases mosquitoes may carry.
So we didn't have any Zika cases, so it wouldn't have been in the mosquitoes anyway, since no human came in with it. West Nile virus, we test mosquitoes periodically. We don't find it in the mosquitoes very often.
The lab says that even if the virus is found in mosquito samples, it can react to prevent potential outbreaks.
Most of those diseases like Zika, dengue, and chikungunya, those mosquitoes typically only fly up to maybe 500 yards in their lifetime, so they don't go very far, and they're also container breeding mosquitoes.
So if you make sure there's no standing water, you'll greatly lessen any chance of an itch or worse. And at the peak of last season, the Sarasota County Mosquito Management Services said they had up to 800 calls for service. So if you're having any type of mosquito problem, you can always give them a call. They'll come to investigate and spray the area. I'm live in Sarasota. Taylor Torregano, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, thank you, Taylor. Well, some alarming news when it comes to those pesky bugs. Illnesses from tick, mosquito, and flea bites more than tripled between 2004 and 2016. A new report by the CDC says that more than 640,000 patients came down with diseases transmitted by bites from those bugs during that time. Part of the increase is that new germs spread by these bugs are now required by doctors to log and report them. But you can protect yourself with the following recommendations from the CDC. Be aware of peak exposure times when mosquitoes are most active. Wear long-sleeved shirts, long pants, and a hat to keep mosquitoes off of your skin. And bug repellents help, obviously, as well. Make sure to spray on your clothes and on yourself.
We haven't had a lot of rain. Of course, mosquitoes love the rain, so
Right.
that's how they breed in those ditches and puddles and things. Let's find out when we might see some. Here's Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan.
Yeah, and I can tell a story. A week ago or so, when it did rain, I was working outside. A lot of mosquitoes around, used the spray. But the last couple of days, there hasn't been a whole lot around, at least my area. And it's going to change, though. We may get some rainfall. Got to look at this mess down here. This is a futurecast showing what's going to be happening. This is from Friday afternoon. Notice not a lot of rainfall in our forecast on Friday, but boy, that could move in our way. We'll talk more about that in just a little bit. 88 degrees, our current temp. We have a few fair weather cumulus clouds around. There's a very small chance at a sprinkle or two, but that rain chance at 10%. It's just so dry out there that we're not going to get anything generated along that sea breeze. It's pinned right near the coast. East to northeast winds rather brisk now at 16 miles an hour. And the pressure way up there, 30-14, and continues to rise. With that high pressure ridge firmly entrenched over the southeast right now, it's providing warm, moist air right into this front, and explosive thunderstorms now starting to develop once again, and the potential for tornadoes. We showed you that video earlier. There could be more video tomorrow to show because there's a lot of tornado chasers in that immediate area right now, waiting for those to break out. And more importantly for us, we're going to watch this area of disturbed weather down to our south. There's a chance it could inject a little bit of shower activity our way. Details on all that in just a few minutes. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. New details tonight in the investigation of a Booker High School teacher charged with possession of child pornography. 25-year-old Quentin Peterson is accused of being involved in an inappropriate relationship with a student outside of school while he was teaching in Manatee County. Police say they found multiple inappropriate sexual images of a 16-year-old girl on Peterson's computer. Sarasota County Schools placed him on administrative leave following his arrest. Booker High School students have since made new allegations against Peterson. Those are currently being investigated by the school district and Sarasota police.
The city of Venice is considering a plan to expand its emergency services. Venice has its own fire department, but wants to begin EMS service, which Sarasota County now provides. ABC 7's Christopher Brantley talks about how big of an undertaking this could be.
Since 1998, both Sarasota County and the Venice Fire have worked together on emergency medical calls, but that soon may change. The City Council has asked the Venice Fire Chief to explore ending its agreement with Sarasota County and initiate Venice EMS.
The system works, but we're just looking to see if there's an enhancement or improvement on that. We may, after our study, find out that this is the best situation for us and may continue to run status quo.
The process has only just begun, and the chief isn't sure how it's going to play out, but he explained some of the potential benefits of having a separate EMS.
Being able to train those responders with our responders consistently and to the levels that we require inside of Venice for the Venice community.
I believe that the residents here in Venice would be served much more appropriately.
Venice resident Janine Joyner is in favor of a new Venice EMS. She likes the idea because it would be more independent from Sarasota County.
If we rely on an outside entity like the county or another private organization, we would be dependent upon them.
It's not a cheap proposition. At least 3 new ambulances would need to be purchased. Then they'd have to hire paramedics and EMTs to run them.
It's not a cheap startup, and then there's always an annual maintenance cost or continuation of cost. But we're looking into our fleet replacement program, how we can change some things around, how we can maybe reduce some of the cost.
Now, if this goes through seamlessly with everyone approving of it, it would still take 3 years to implement after new ambulances are purchased and all of the training is done. In Venice, Christopher Brantley, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Florida Governor Rick Scott is heading to Israel later this month. Scott will be at the May 14th opening of a new U.S. embassy in Jerusalem. The governor has made 2 official trips to Israel during his time as governor, including a trade mission in December.
The Sarasota County Tax Collector is celebrating the grand opening of their newest office located on Sawyer Loop Road. The new office will make it easier for residents in South County and will replace the office by the fairgrounds, offering full-service assistance with a range of options available.
But it's a full-service office, so you can pay your taxes, get your driver's license, license plates, pay tourist taxes, and get your business tax paid.
The new building also features an after-hours payment drop box, which is a convenient drive-through service for those on the go, and a road course for driver's license testing upon scheduled request.
The 2018 Giving Challenge is officially in the books. The 24-hour event to raise money for local nonprofits earning more than $6 million from more than 74,000 donations with the Patterson Foundation, then matching donations. That brings the grand total to more than $11 million raised. The leaders in total donations to animal causes: Honor Animal Rescue and Cat Depot. The money raised this year will benefit more than 630 organizations in Sarasota, Manatee, Charlotte, and DeSoto counties. And even though the challenge is over, you can still donate. Just go to givingpartnerchallenge.org.
Wow, some impressive numbers there. Still to come on your Suncoast News, an update on the 2 men who gained national attention after getting arrested in a Starbucks, the deal they've made with the company. Plus, why the Boy Scouts are changing their name, and Ford's newest invention that will allow blind people to feel the view. Those stories straight ahead.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now, during our Finish Upgrade event, save up to 15% when you upgrade to a premium finish. Schedule your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or go to californiaclosets.com.
Runs as Art. You know the name, you know the building, but do you know what's inside? Yes, Rugs As Art is Florida's #1 area rug superstore. But there is so much more. Amazing furniture, accessories, and art. All this and more. Come see for yourself. You'll love our personal touch and be pleasantly surprised by our affordable prices. Rugs As Art and more. There is so much more to explore.
The following message is brought to you by Mesobook.com.
People who have been diagnosed with mesothelioma have many questions. How did I get this disease? What are my treatment options? How will this affect my loved ones? You need answers, which is why we offer a free book written by medical professionals who have treated mesothelioma.
Call toll-free at 1-800-777-1366 or go to Mesobook.com.
I can't believe they charged me this much. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Go to CashNetUSA.com now. If approved, you may get the money you need as soon as tomorrow.
Thanks. Who are you?
I'm CashNetUSA.com. Man.
Apply now at CashNetUSA.com.
Money's on the way with CashNet USA.
I took my first handful of pills, and that's when all my priorities seemed to change.
He would ask to use the bathroom in other people's homes.
He just assumed that they would have medication.
He'd go in their medicine cabinets and steal prescription drugs.
I wish I knew really what these prescription pills were.
We were so naive about the whole drug thing.
These are all synthetic forms of heroin.
Keep your medication locked up because you'll never notice that a pill is gone.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
So I kind of grew up all across the country. I come from 5 generations of military men. My dad is still active duty. My grandpa is retired Marines. I like going for runs with my dog. I love, taking her out to the dog beach over in Venice. There are so many things here to do on the Suncoast. My goal every day when I come into work at ABC7 is to tell your stories, give you that major local news and those details that you really care about. I'm Jacqueline Matter, and I'm here for you.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now, during our Finish Upgrade event, save up to 15% when you upgrade to a premium finish. Schedule your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or go to CaliforniaClosets.com.
The video went viral, a road rage incident in Sarasota involving an illegal immigrant. But should the focus be on their immigration status or the dangers of reckless driving? ABC 7's Alan Cohn is here now with how this local story is bringing up a national debate. Alan?
Scott, does the case prove the point about undocumented aliens and crime? Should it? Sarasota Sheriff Tom Knight held a press conference and used the situation to talk about the difficulties undocumented immigrants pose to law enforcement. But some worry that may actually have an impact on what happens in court.
Now, whether this person is ultimately found guilty or not, if he goes to trial, he could theoretically argue that you're making this judgment against me purely because of how you feel about me.
A hot button issue and two sides with passionate positions coming up at 7.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan.
Beautiful day out there today. Lots of sunshine, a few clouds in the afternoon. And again, this is the severe weather graphic showing the potential for severe weather across the central United States. But here's the nice picture from Casey Key showing beautiful conditions out there. Again, the sea state picking up a little bit this afternoon due to increased wind. We're getting a little sea breeze trying to develop right near the coast, but temperatures are still pretty warm up and down. The water vapor imagery showing the dry air in the mid to upper levels of the atmosphere continues to hang right over Florida, moving from the west to the east. A lot of tropical moisture, though, just to the east of the Bahamas. That has a chance of developing into a closed low over the upcoming days. Lots of rain down here right now into the Straits of Florida and just off of Cuba. That's where most of it's going to stay over the next 2 days. I mentioned those strong storms over the southern and central plain states. More rough weather anticipated there throughout the day tomorrow as well. 88 degrees right now. We have a few clouds and the dew point temperature is low. And the humidity is low, 36%. East to northeast winds at 16. Temperatures near the coast, nice comfortable temperatures. 83 at Whitney Beach now. Braden Country Club at 87. Palm Air, you're at 88 degrees. And Kensington Park, the same. Southgate as well, and 87 in Plantation. Northport, you're at 87, and Venice checking in at 88 degrees. Near the beach, though, at Venice Beach, it's a little bit cooler, 84 there. Well, there are the storms that are just firing up along this frontal boundary with high pressure keeping things pretty quiet over the southeast right now. It'll stay that way, too, it looks like, throughout the next couple of days before this cold front kind of breaks it down just a little bit. And that area of low pressure down near Cuba eventually moves northward. We mentioned that rough weather. We saw this earlier. Potential for severe storms from Kansas City southward all the way down into Tornado Alley. And tornado risk is high there, too. There's going to be a chance for tornadoes throughout the evening tonight and then again tomorrow. Well, temperatures for highs tomorrow into the 50s and 60s. You can see where that cold air is. The trough and the jet stream really diving down here in the western states, and that's where the storm track is. And then the ridging taking place all across the eastern third of the nation. Look at this temperature. It's actually hotter in Washington, 92 degrees there now. Boston at 84 and 77 in Cleveland. These are highs tomorrow. We're expecting to see temperatures soaring into the low 90s. There could be some record-breaking highs in places like New Jersey as well as up into Boston. 82 the expected high in Dallas. We'll get close to the 90s. 91 this particular model is suggesting, I think more so right around 89 degrees. This high pressure ridge is the reason. It's going to keep all this suppressed down to our south with the winds rotating around it in that clockwise fashion. And it will stay there through Thursday, Friday. You'll notice a little rotation here from this forecast model. And then again, that high pressure ridge kind of shrinks and gets smaller as the cold front approaches, and that cold front's going to get held off to our north. But we will see an additional chance for showers as more moisture moves into play. This is Saturday. I think most of the day on Saturday, at least in the morning, should be okay. There's a chance for a thunderstorm zone with the dry conditions around. That always is a potential for starting brush fires. So we'll have to keep that keep an eye on that throughout the weekend and into Sunday as well. So for boaters tomorrow, east winds turn to the northeast and then to the north at 15 knots and then subside somewhat midday, 5 to 10 knots. Seas will be running 2 to 3 feet with a moderate chop on the bays and inland waters. Okay, 7-day forecast. We're calling now for a chance for showers and storms in the mix on Saturday and Sunday as a result of that low pressure getting closer to us. I don't think it's going to be so close that it's going to be a washout for these days, but we will see a good chance for a few showers, a few thunderstorms on Saturday. Sunday, pretty much the same story, a mixture of sun and clouds. It's not going to be totally sunny, but we will see quite a bit of sunshine. And then that trough hangs around, bringing with it a chance for showers, and then through Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday with high temperatures still running a few degrees above average. Back to you.
Hey, Bob, thank you. Time now to check your first alert traffic for the drive home. Traffic is backed up in Bradenton Beach this evening as you head north towards Santa Maria Island on Gulf Drive. We're also seeing some backups right around the Gulf Drive and Cortez Road intersection. Scott?
Thanks, Jacqueline. A name change for the Boy Scouts. Starting in February, programs for older Scouts will be called Scouts BSA. The Boy Scouts of America says the change is in part due to the expansion that will welcome girls into the organization. They'll also be adopting the slogan, Scout Me In. The program for teens ages 11 to 17 that's currently called Boy Scouts is the only program affected by the change. For younger kids, Cub Scouts will stay the same and stay under the name Boy Scouts of America.
The two black men who gained national attention when they were arrested at a Philadelphia Starbucks now have a deal with the city and the company. Dante Robinson and Rashawn Nelson settled separately with the city of Philadelphia for $1 each. City officials also promised to set up a $200,000 program for young entrepreneurs. Robinson and Nelson will develop and run that program. As for Starbucks, the coffee chain says that Robinson and Nelson met with its CEO earlier this week. The company did not give any details, but said the resolution did include a financial settlement. A feature that was once a bonus in your car is now required for all new vehicles in the U.S. A federal regulation took effect today requiring rear view cameras and video displays in all new passenger cars. Congress passed the law in 2008, but automakers had several years to get ready for that change. The measure is intended to help drivers avoid accidents. Rear-view cameras and video displays are already included in many higher-end models and vehicles with extra safety packages, but now they will be standard even on the cheapest of new cars.
They really do help, too. Ford has unveiled a smart window for the visually impaired. The prototype technology called Feel the View works like this. A window camera takes pictures of the view outside. Similar to how letters are translated into Braille, the pictures are then translated into vibrations. The images are reproduced as a grayscale rendering on the window glass. When a person touches it, the gray shades vibrate at different frequencies. This enables the user to feel the image and mentally recreate the view.
Wow, I'm so impressed with that technology.
I know. Entertainment news coming up next.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now, during our Finish Upgrade event, save up to 15% when you upgrade to a premium finish. Schedule your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or go to CaliforniaClosets.com.
Selfless service is the principle that guides Army National Guard soldiers to be ready whenever disaster strikes. They have a stake in the well-being of the neighborhoods where they live and work. They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times. Selfless service. It's what inspires the men and women of the Army National Guard to be part of something greater than themselves. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more.
Everybody can make something, because I think everyone has a spark of creativity, and the reason that I have to keep making is because I don't think my life would be as fulfilling without it. If you make things yourself, that means you're not cowering in fear. You're out there taking chances. That, I think, is my way of saying I love you to the world. All right, now I want to hear why you make.
Share your own Why I Make story today. Visit whyimake.org.
Since 2004, Embracing Our Differences has used the power of art and education to promote diversity. One way it accomplishes this is through its annual outdoor exhibition of 45 billboard-sized works of art, each accompanied by an inspirational quote. Join us in creating a community that is inclusive for all, where differences are embraced and individuality is celebrated. We invite you to celebrate the voices and visions of diversity and inclusion at this year's exhibit at Sarasota's Island Park.
When money's tight and emergencies arise, CashNetUSA.com is available 24/7 to deliver quick loans for approved customers when they need it the most.
Apply now at CashNetUSA.com.
Money's on the way with CashNet USA.
We answered the call of duty and left our homes to serve in far-off lands. Now we answer another call, this time at home, in our own communities, to respond in times of chaos, to use our strength, our skills, and our experiences to bring hope amid devastation and destruction. Together, as a team of brothers and sisters, we're continuing our mission to make this country a little stronger and a little better each day. We are Team Rubicon.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now, during our Finish Upgrade event, save up to 15% when you upgrade to a premium finish. Schedule your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or go to CaliforniaClosets.com.
In entertainment news tonight, those controversial comments made by Kanye West, the rapper, calling slavery a choice during an interview with TMZ.
ABC's Marcy Gonzalez brings us the outraged reactions from Los Angeles.
Kanye West now trying to clarify those outrage-inducing comments he made to TMZ.
When you hear about slavery for 400 years, that sounds like a choice. Like, you was there for 400 years and it's all of y'all? You know, like, it's like we're mentally in prison.
The rapper facing immediate backlash from a TMZ staffer.
What you're doing right now is actually the absence of thought. I'm appalled, and brother, I am unbelievably hurt by the fact that you have morphed into something, to me, that's not real.
That anger echoed on social media. The hashtag "if slavery was a choice" now trending on Twitter. West defending his comments, tweeting, "The reason why I brought up the 400 years point is because we can't be mentally imprisoned for another 400 years. We need free thought now." And saying in another tweet, "To make myself clear, of course I know that slaves did not get shackled and put on a boat by free will." After a long hiatus following his 2016 hospitalization, West recently returning to Twitter with other attention-grabbing comments.
I just love Trump. That's my boy.
And now sharing some of the struggles he says led him to seek medical help.
I was addicted to opioids. 2 days I got off of opioids. I'm in the hospital.
And some accuse West of making these controversial comments for publicity ahead of the release of his next album in June. Marcy Gonzalez, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Ariana Grande giving her first TV interview since the Manchester bomb attack last year. The pop star appeared on The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon last night. Fallon thanked Grande for her actions after the attack. She suspended her tour after the terrorist bombing at her concert killed 22 people and injured more than 500. She returned for the One Love Manchester charity concert weeks later.
I know it's just tough for everybody and tough for fans and tough for you, and I know you haven't done any interviews, and I understand that. And I just wanted to say thank you so much for coming on our show and for being strong and for entertaining and for showing up and going back to Manchester and doing a benefit. I thought that was awesome of you, and just so I just think you're so strong.
Thanks.
And so cool.
Thank you.
Grande thanked Fallon but did not discuss the attack any further. She also announced that she will open the 2018 Billboard Music Awards with a performance from her upcoming album.
Well, it's a big Iron Man-iversary. 10 years ago, Robert Downey Jr. helped launch the Marvel Cinematic Universe with the first Iron Man movie. The film was a huge hit, even though Iron Man was considered one of the second-tier Marvel characters. 18 more Marvel films have followed, including last weekend's Avengers Infinity War, and they've done pretty well, with earnings more than $15 billion, making it the most successful franchise in film history.
And speaking of Marvel hits, here's a sneak peek at Ant-Man and the Wasp. The sequel finds Paul Rudd's Ant-Man joined by Evangeline Lilly as the Wasp, taking on the villainous Ghost. The movie will be the first Marvel Cinematic Universe film to arrive in the wake of Avengers Infinity War. Ant-Man and the Wasp fly into theaters on July 6th.
First one was fun. Ant-Man?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this should be good too. We'll be right back with more news.
From the moment she walked in the door, we stopped having to go to the pharmacy. Certain prescriptions, my health plan or the pharmacy wasn't even able to get here. And hospice provided them, and all we had to do was call up, and the next thing they know, there was another, a delivery.
Meet Blue. Blue's not feeling well. The prescription? Generic medication. Blue wonders, do they really work as well as name brands? Yes, generics and name brand medications do work the same. Even though they may look different, generics have the same key ingredients. FDA approval is equally rigorous for generics to make sure they're as safe and effective as name brands. And Blue even saves him green, making him a little less, well, blue. Talk to your doctor about generics and visit fda.gov/generic drugs.
ABC 7 News at 7 weeknights.